Hey YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is another one in the series that I started last month, where I'm investing £100 into the stock market each month. And I show you directly in the Trading 212 app that I'm using what I'm actually investing in. But as always, I have no financial background whatsoever, so I always recommend seeking professional advice before investing in anything. Now while you watch the intro video, why not hit the like button down below? And also in the description down below, you can see a link to getting your own Trading 212 account, where both you and I can get a free share just by using that link to open your account. So let's jump straight into the Trading 212 app. So first of all, let's take a look at my portfolio from last week. So we can see here that it says that I've only got £61.91 in my portfolio. And underneath here, we can see that I've invested £66.49, which has given me a return of minus £4.58, which is a 6.89% decrease, which isn't too good. Now, if we scroll further down, we can have a look and see what the actual shares that I've invested in. So we can see that I've got shares in BP at £28.92, which has made a £4.24 loss, which is 12.79% loss. Then I've got an iShares Core S&P 500 shares, where I've spent £32.99, and I've made a loss of 34 pence here. Now the first question that arises is, where is my fractional shares in Apple that I bought last month? Now if we go into the history in the Trading 212 app, we can see that I did actually buy £33.33 worth of Apple on the 17th of August. And this resulted in me buying 0.0941686% of a share essentially. Now, if you remember from the last video, the reason why I bought this Apple share was to understand what happens in the Trading 212 app when there is a stock split. And obviously, Apple did their stock split on the 31st of August, doing a 4-to-1 ratio. Now this basically meant that for every one whole share of Apple that you held, it would then become 4 shares, but the value will be split into a quarter of the original value. Now obviously this is pretty stupid on my front, because there are many other ways to work out how stock splits work in Trading 212 rather than actually gambling my money. For instance, if we go into the announcements for Trading 212, we can see Tesla and Apple stock split here. And if we scroll right down to the bottom, we can see in this Q&A, why did my share disappear? And it basically says that if the total quantity after the split is below 1, the fractions were directly sold. And more details about the calculation method you can find here. Now, just to give you an overview, basically, if you didn't have a full share of Apple, it would actually just sell that fraction of the share at the market value when the split happened. Therefore, that basically meant that I made a little bit on Apple when they had a little bit of a surge in price just before the stock split, but I didn't gain on any other increases that happened after the stock split, because the small amount that I invested in Apple when the stock split happened, I still didn't have enough invested in order to make one whole share of Apple. But now we can also see that BP has fallen 12.7% and iShares Core S&P 500 has also fallen 1.02%. Now in total, this obviously shows that the portfolio hasn't performed very well. However, the reason why BP has fallen so much is basically due to the fact that they've announced a lot of job cuts. And obviously, due to the nature of this pandemic that we're going through, the oil industry has obviously had a huge impact, because a lot of people are not using oil during this time right now. But at the end of the day, I still feel that BP is a good stock to hold, purely because they have a great dividend yield, and that was the reason for buying this stock in the first place. And on top of that, they're also doing a lot of great work in renewable energies, as well as the fact that the oil industry is definitely going to get picked up again in the near future when everybody starts going back to normality. Now this definitely gives a possibility for BP to get back to its pre-pandemic highs. So I guess now the main question here is, what am I going to invest in today? Well, as I've said before, I'd like to split my investments into 3 different parts. The first one being investing into ETFs or indexes, and the second part to be invested in dividend stocks, and the third part into a company that I find interesting and I've done some research on. So first of all, let's see what we're going to spend a third of our £100 on today within the ETFs and index side of things. So if we come to here in the search function, you can see at the top we've got stocks and ETFs. If I click on ETFs here, we can then click on most popular. Now looking at these shares, because I've already invested in the S&P 500, just going to diversify my portfolio a little bit. This month, I want to invest a third of the £100 into the iShares Core FTSE 100, being able to have some money invested in the UK side of the stock market compared to the US side. So if I click on iShares FTSE 100 and then click on buy, we can then set the value to £33.33. And we can see this comes up to approximately 5.81 units of the iShares FTSE 100 stock. So in this instance, I'll review the order. I'm happy for this to go through and I'll set in the buy order. And now onto the dividend stock. So in order to find which dividend stock I want to buy today, I'm going to go into the search functionality, into stocks, and choose dividend. Now this is showing some of the best dividend stocks that's out in the market at the moment. Now rather than going for an oil company this month compared to last month, I'm going to look at AT&T. Now the reason for this is because a telecommunication company like AT&T is a company that will always do well because everybody needs telecommunication and media no matter what the situation is in the world. Now also, if we go down to their dividend yield, we can see that they've got 7.07% dividend yield, which is great dividend yield since I'm looking for dividend stocks which have a 4% or higher dividend yield. Therefore, I'm going to go up to the top here and I'm going to select buy, and we're going to select £33.33. And so we can see that this comes up to approximately 1.5 shares, and then I'm happy with that. So I want to review this order and I can send that buy order out. Now, because it's Labor Day on Monday when this video comes out, my AT&T stock will not get bought until Tuesday when the stock market reopens again. Now, finally, I need to allocate 2 more sections of my portfolio. One to replace Apple from last month, and another one for this month's pick of the month of companies that I find interesting. So first of all, the company I want to look at is Tesla. Now, Tesla has obviously been doing amazingly well in the last year. Since about this time last year, we can see here that Tesla has gone up 818%, which is amazing. However, a lot of people are speculating at the fact that Tesla is very overvalued. Now, obviously, there's also a lot of risk involved here because in the last week, it has dropped 5%. So whether this is a correction happening within the actual market, or it's just because some of the large holders within Tesla have started to sell off their stock purely because of the fact that it has increased such a high amount that they just want to cash out and get some money, especially during a pandemic like this. But the main reason why I would like to buy Tesla is because anybody who follows Tesla will also know that Elon Musk has announced later in September, he's announced that he'll be doing a battery day announcement. Now, what's actually going to be said during this battery day announcement, we don't really know. But usually when Elon Musk says that he's got an announcement about something, it's good news. Therefore, I have a feeling that Tesla stock will go up a little bit in this next month. So just to see how that happens, I might as well buy a little bit into this portfolio that I have. Now, obviously, this is not going to amount to too much, but £33.33 is better than nothing, right? So if I hit buy, let's put in £33.33, and then that comes up to about 0.1 off a share in Tesla. So if I review this order and send the buy order, again, this is an American stock, so this will only go through on Tuesday. Now, finally, I need to assign the last amount of money to another stock that I've been following. And again, I'm going for another tech stock. This is because I am quite interested in technology, etc. And so I follow that industry a lot more than some of the other industries. So I know what's going on in there a bit better. And this last stock that I'm going to be looking into is one that probably everybody knows about, and that's Amazon. The reason I'm doing this is because obviously Amazon is another company that has had an amazing year. So in the last year, we can see that it's had a 79.65% increase, which is obviously not as great as Tesla's 800% increase, but 79.65% increase within a year is still really good. Now, the reason I feel like Amazon is a great stock to buy, just purely as a long-term investor, is mainly because the future of technology is moving towards artificial intelligence, more to do with cloud computing, more to do with digital payments, more to do with e-commerce, and also the TV streaming world as well is coming up a lot more as well. And Amazon is at the forefront at all of these. Now, Amazon also reported a 40% increase in their total number of sales from last year compared to this year, which resulted in Amazon generating a free cash flow of $31.9 billion in a 12-month period at the end of June. Now, this number is an increase of $25 billion in comparison to the same time period back last year. Now, the only main issue here is that Amazon is also currently going through an antitrust investigation, basically because they feel like Amazon is becoming too large and is not providing a fair chance for other competition. So this could just mean that Amazon will end up breaking their company into smaller companies. But at the end of the day, even by adding all of the smaller companies together, I have a strong feeling that it's still going to go up in a huge amount of value. Therefore, I'm going to put my last amount into Amazon. Now, when I put in £33.33 here, we can see that this only gives me 0.01341 of a share in Amazon. However, like I said before, it's better to have that than nothing, right? So if I review that order and then send the buy order, again being an American stock, the buy order is only going to go through tomorrow on Tuesday. So that's it for today. That's my new updated portfolio. Now, obviously, some of these orders will only go through tomorrow. And so I'll give you another update on this portfolio next month. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, make sure you subscribe to the channel down below and hit the bell button so you get notified when my next video comes out. And don't forget to like the video, comment down below, and share with your friends and family. See you in the next video. Bye.